You'll notice on the front of your camper or in your side compartments, if you have a fifth wheel, got a couple of propane tanks, and this regulator right here that has a green or red, if it's empty, dial on the front of it. So let's take a better look at that. We're going to pull our little handle off, and as we can see here, it may not look exactly like this, but all of them serve the same purpose. You have a gauge that's going to either give you a green dial or a red dial. The green dial means that the tank is full. Red dial obviously means that the tank is empty. So on the top here, we can see that there's a supply valve. This supply valve here is pointed to this hose, which leads to this tank. So you can actually leave both of your tanks open, and the regulator is only going to pull out of this tank until this goes red, which means the tank is empty. At that point in time, the pressure from this tank is going to take over and start supplying to your unit, but it's still going to indicate that it's red. That gives you the notation that, hey, I need to change this tank out right here and fill it up. And if you know that already and you want to swap it over, just so you know, because you started pulling from this one, all you got to do is turn that dial right there and your supply will start to come from this tank right here. Same thing, once it turns red, we know this tank is empty. If we're still getting propane, then we know that we're supplied from this tank right here. Your gas system on your unit consists of several appliances: your stovetop, your oven, your gas furnace, sometimes your standard refrigerator if it doesn't have a residential refrigerator in there, and of course your outside kitchen if you have one of those equipped. Now, your gas system should be checked once a year and have a leak check done on it to ensure that you don't have any leaks in the system, and that could cause any major issues as far as safety is concerned. You also want to check your CO detector regularly, at least every 6 months, to ensure that that is working properly as well. Now, one tip I will give you as far as your propane system: whenever you go to store it and you shut off that propane, any gas that's left in the line will dissipate out of there and you will end up with air in your system. An easy way to fix that problem when you first go out camping or you're prepping your unit for a trip is turn that propane on, go to your stovetop and turn that burner on, and then you want to go ahead and ignite that burner. This will go ahead and let air out of that system. This is the fastest way to purge it out. Once it is lit, you want to make sure you have a nice crisp blue flame. You don't want an orange flame that's kind of poppy or cracking, and that will go ahead and get all the air out of there. That way, when you do go to operate your furnace or water heater or refrigerator or even your pilot light down in your oven, these things will not have as much air. They have a much smaller orifice, allowing that gas to travel much slower out of the system, and it would take a lot longer, sometimes causing a fault for these items whenever you go to operate them on gas.